Hey guys, so a thing that people don't talk about a lot in terms of baseball and softball is how the action of hammering a nail is actually really relevant to what you would do in your swing, right? So this is something I did a fair amount when I was a kid because my grandfather was really into that stuff. So when you hammer a nail, here I am, let's imagine here's like something I'm hammering. Boom, I make this wrist action. And when I go this way with my wrist, that's called radial deviation. And when I go this way with my wrist, that's called ulnar deviation. And that movement of hammering a nail, like that, okay, is the same wrist action that we're gonna use to get our bat to go through the zone, okay? So if we can't make that move, that's gonna present a lot of problems for us. One of the things that we do at the facility is we do a holding angles test where I hold my arms straight like this, okay? I go up over my head like that, the bat stays vertical, and then I come on down. And people that fail this test, they're not able to move the wrist like this, so when we go up, generally what they'll end up doing is they'll stay like that, and when they come down, they'll kind of end up going like that. Or they'll, any sort of mistake on that, you'll see. So that's a really easy way for us to see like, oh, like this person can't ulnar deviate at all. And you'll get some really weird stuff, like hitters that can't ulnar deviate. A lot of times what they'll do, no matter if they can rotate well, you can do all kinds of rotational exercises with them. And then if their wrists are not working properly, you put the bat in their hands and their wrists will be so locked up when they go to swing that their only way to get to the ball a lot of times will look kind of like that. So we found that with athletes that fall into that category, or honestly, all athletes, we need to work on ulnar deviation and the strength at which you do that, because that's gonna help you get through the zone with more force. So even if you're someone that passes that test, you really need to be doing ulnar deviation exercises so that way your wrists can help propel the barrel into the zone and you don't get pushy with your hands. And one of the things that we found that works really well is by using a mace club. And the reason why mace clubs are really important is because length is a force multiplier. So the further the weight is from where you're holding it, the heavier it feels. So like if I pick it up like this, okay, it feels like kind of heavy, but now watch, I'll flip this out on the end and I can't even hold it with my hand, it'll just drop because it feels much more heavy. The weight isn't any different, just the distribution of the weight makes it a lot more difficult to carry. So this is the exercise that we do. Generally, if you're like a high school athlete, like a 7-pound mace is fine. This is a 10, you need one this big right away. Or you could just use like a heavier bat, like a BB core if you're like a younger kid, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my hands on it like this, just like I'm holding a bat, okay? I'm gonna let it swing between my legs like this. I'm gonna flip it up, and then I'm gonna go up over my head, make an action like I'm hammering the ceiling, bring it back down, hammer the ceiling, back down, hammer the ceiling. It's important, guys, that you're making a whole body movement when you go to do the hammer the ceiling move and when you do the flip up move. Because I want you to learn how to transition from a hip hinge into a more standing upright position, and then learn how to transition from a thoracic extended position into a more standing upright position. We need to make sure that we're working on the way that our body kind of undulates in between those things simultaneously when we're making our wrist happen, if we want our full body to be incorporated when we make those movements, and we found a lot of results with these.